Welcome back, because we got an epic showdown between all three of these portable carpet and upholstery spot cleaners, and they are the best of the best from Shark, Bissell, and Hoover. So let's see which one is going to reign supreme, because we got something crazy coming up. Now this is going to be on the Shark StainStriker. Now Shark is producing, or claiming they're producing, the strongest suction out of the bunch. And there is a 2-tank system in order for you to fully utilize the power of the StainStriker. You're going to have that oxy non-diluted, so you're not going to be diluting this, and then you're going to have the diluted formula inside the larger tank. And the Shark is coming with probably the smallest overall clean water tank system, and they have probably matching the CleanSlate in terms of the small dirty water tank. It's going to be also the lightest out of the bunch at 8.5 pounds, and they have a neat handle as well as 2 StainStrikers in that 7-inch as well as the 3-inch size. Easy to wrap around the cord. It really reminds me of the CleanSlate in many ways, except it has a little bit of the Bissell Little Green machine characteristics. I think it is the most futuristic of the group, and it looks very good, but does it perform as well as the others? These are going to be all 3 of the clean water tanks between the units. The Hoover and the Shark are going to be way smaller than the Bissell. The Bissell has a clean water tank that is more than double the size of the others. And the dirty water tank size, the Hoover, the Shark are also going to be on the smaller end, while you can see the Bissell reign supreme in terms of the dirty water tank size. All 3 will come with a float inside that's going to float up if the dirty water tank is too full, notifying your machine to turn itself off so that you can no longer use it until you empty the tank. Now all 3 are also coming with seals. I think the Shark has probably the strongest of seals, but because the Bissell is so tall, you're rarely ever going to get splashing on that as well. Now let's take a look at the Hoover CleanSlate Pro. It is cute. And what more can I say about it except it is going to also be powerful. Cord length is 18 feet, a little shorter than the Bissell, but much longer than the Shark. Hose length is 4.5 feet, again, a little longer than the Shark, but about 0.5 feet less than the Bissell. In terms of overall tank size, it's also going to be 40 ounces, so it's larger than the Shark, but it's smaller than the Bissell. So you can see a trend here where it's kind of in between in the size, but it weighs just about 9.4 pounds. And it comes with a 7-inch cleaning tool and the tight spot tool. In terms of overall features, it's the most basic of the bunch. They do have a hose cleaning built in. It's like a little plastic piece you're going to put on top of your hose to clean it, and that's going to be your tight spot tool. It's really just like a really hard scrubbing brush. Next, let's check out the Bissell Little Green Pet Pro. This is a classic because it's very powerful and it looks good. They just changed the colors. The cord length is going to be 20 feet. The hold length is 5 feet. It weighs 13 pounds, so way more than the others. It has a 96-ounce clean water tank, so again, double the size of the others, if not more. All 3 of them, you can use it with the Oxy premix, so that's not something unique to the StainStriker. And you can see the cord is also going to be a little bit more cloudy than the other 3. The knock on it is that there is a trade-off between weight and power. This is heavy, especially if you add this clean water tank full, it's pretty heavy. But in terms of power, it has very good power. This is something that I would use to clean up my car if I had a party in my car. The Bissell also comes with the most advanced tools, the pet stain tool that injects the solution inside, the stain trapper tool, and a 3-inch tough stain tool. So these are going to be the ports that are going to be for the suction as well as the removal and extraction. So that's going to be on the Hoover. You can see how separated they are on the Shark. You want to clean those filters after every use though. And this is how it looks on the Bissell. And the Bissell has more of a silicone filter, which I appreciate. This is what the head units look like when you have them off, and you can see the hoses. Some are going to be more clear than the others, and like the Bissell is going to be the most cloudy, the Shark is going to be the most clear, and the Hoover is going to be somewhere in between. Now let's move on to the tests, because this is where you can see really which one is the best. And it's not going to be a food fight until we put a lot of food on our carpets. For this test, each machine is going to clean a row of all 4 of these various stains. Now this is going to be on ketchup. Ketchup is hardcore. It is hard to remove, and we're going to blend it inside of the carpet. Now chocolate protein shake, something that you might be drinking and dropping, because it's going to get all in your carpets and it's going to ruin it unless you can get it out, and it's going to smell. Orange juice is a classic because orange juice is easy to drink, but it's very difficult to get out of anything. And I think that's come down to the citric acid and that orange color. And we're gonna go for the Holy Mecca. This is a 2011 Cabernet Sauvignon. It is extremely sulfate and it is bitter and it really is hard to remove. So you can see all of the materials that we place inside, and we're gonna let this dry for about 30 minutes, and then we're just gonna pat dry everything down so that you know that it's deep inside. Now, first up, we're gonna have our row with the LittleGreen Pro. This is gonna be utilizing the 2-in-1 pet stain trapper. Now, some of these units will not come with this particular tool, but we wanted to show you this guy because it is most similar to the Shark StainStriker. And let's go. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, but you can see the overall performance. It does a great job in terms of suction power, and it adds a lot of formula without having you to replace the tank. It's not that liberal in terms of the use of the formula though, so that like that because you're still getting a great performance without using so much solution. Because if you use a lot of solution very quickly, well, you got to refill that tank, you got to empty the dirty water tank, and then you got to buy more solution sooner, which drives me crazy. Now, you can see the overall job it's done. It's done a very good job. It's not perfect, but I would say that it removed about 90% on its first pass. And you can see an overhead shot just to give you a little bit more detail so you can see the colors. And you can see the red of the ketchup. That is so hard to remove, that red tomato. And you can also see on the chocolate milk as it sets, especially this type of chocolate milk with the whey protein, it's again very difficult to remove, and they do stain very quickly if you let it dry. You have the orange juice. That is going to be, in my opinion, one of the most difficult stains to remove. And I would say the orange juice is actually harder to remove than the red wine in certain cases, especially if you're using the Oxy pet formulas. Next up in the battle of the stains is our Shark StainStriker. Now, it's quite interesting because the spray on the hand attachments is placed towards the back. And as you can see here, you're going to be spraying away from where your brushes are actually located. So you spray first and then agitate. But if you have some tight spaces, you will have to change the position as the spray will be off the stain before the brushes. So it does take a little bit to get used to. So if you went to Chick-fil-A and then you got 10 ketchup packages and then you stepped on them and they got all over your carpet, well, this is how the Shark StainStriker would work if you're trying to clean that mess up. So if you got ketchup, you would have to make repeated passes and it would take quite a bit of elbow grease. You might even have to come back. You probably will have to come back. For the chocolate protein shake, it did a great job removing those stains. And I would say on the orange juice, it also did a pretty good job removing those stains, but it had a harder time than expected. So orange juice, I would say it would have to come back. It was pleasantly surprised how effective it was on the wine because of the deeper penetration in terms of the suction power. It did a pretty good job on the wine. Where I find the Shark is most lacking is that because the spray is located so far back, you are going to have a high chance of oversaturating your carpet or your upholstery. So overall, the suction power is good, and I think Shark did a good job in terms of the overall suction power. Build quality is pretty nice, but the thing about the Shark is that because the spray is so far, you are really having a difficult time gauging how much solution you're using, so that you will go through solution pretty fast. And as you can see, to remove these stains, I ended up having to use more solution than I used on the Bissell, and that was surprising to me. I thought having better suction would make the overall experience even better. And I had to take longer because I had to extract all of that solution that I used. And this is the final product. You can see we got a lot of the stains out. The wine is a little bit there. You can see the ketchup is a little bit there, but I use all the solution here. That is a full tank of Oxy, and that is the diluted water solution mix. And I use the full tank in order to just remove those stains. So you can imagine how quickly you can go through solution on this. And our final gladiator in the spot cleaning ring is going to be the Hoover CleanSlate. And you can see how the water and the solution is going to be sprayed out. So you have the ability to control. It's pretty light. It's only about a pound, maybe less than a pound heavier than the Shark. And that 7-inch cleaning tool does make easy work of larger stains, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to get it fully out. What I noticed about the Hoover is that It is easy to use, but in terms of overall effectiveness, out of the three, it did the worst job removing all the stains. With the Hoover, we ended up not having to use as much solution as the Shark for about the same effectiveness, but it takes a lot more scrubbing and a lot more extraction, and I think that's because it probably has the least suction power out of the three. So I had to make a lot of passes, as you see me here, pressing in to try to remove as much solution as possible so that it can be more effective. So who wins the battle royale? Well, I think it comes down to value. The Hoover CleanSlate is going to be a solid value, especially if you get it on sale for closer to $100. But if you're paying full price, there's no reason to get it over the Shark StainStriker, because the Shark StainStriker is going to be more powerful and it's going to be a little bit lighter. But they're all going to pale in comparison to the heavyweight of the group, the Bissell Little Green Pro. It has more options in terms of tools. It's going to be able to penetrate deeper, and it has a larger tank, which means you're going to have to refill and empty that tank less often. The Bissell design is also tried and true because it's basically a Spot Clean Pro, but they just changed the colors and added some new attachments. Now, that's not to say that the Shark and Hoovers are not solid options. It's just to say that the Bissell is a little bit better. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. Please leave your questions below in the comment section. We will get back to you, and hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help us grow our channel. So I'll catch you next time. This is David with the French Glow signing off. Bye, bye, bye.